Okay, hello everyone. So as you all know, this meeting is recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. So we have a few agenda items I listed. So hopefully this is going to be quick, unless others have any more discussion points. So one thing that I figured while working on the translation layer is that we allow duplicate custom predicate and priorities to be specified in the policy. We don't have support for such semantics in the component config plugin API. And so I created an issue explaining this semantics, and I was wondering if anyone is aware of how whether there are any actual deployments out there that benefits from that. The only case where I think that this is useful is if you would like to create, for example, multiple service affinity custom predicates, but with different weights, for example. So that's the only case where I think that it could be useful. But other than that, I don't know. Okay, yeah, so I have the issue created. Maybe folks will comment on it. My concern is that if we want to support this in the new world of framework plugins, we may either need to change the API for the plugins, or we add support for those custom I don't know, like predicates, priorities, or we call them, or we convert them into features with custom APIs in the component config. That basically gets created as plugins on the fly, and we register them as plugins on the fly with different names, basically. I don't know if anyone has any comments on this or.
My only suggestion would be to send this to the mailing list as well.
Yeah, I'll do that. My concern is that mailing list is not that active, so I wonder if Way knows a better distribution mailing list that will give us more attention to this specific issue, other than the scheduling mailing list.
So to be honest with this, personally, I seldom use them. Actually, I believe most of the users are not even using them. But
okay.
but I think there is still some people using this. So
I would love to get.
Yeah, so it's tricky. So because it's existing APIs and existing functionalities,
right.
So yeah, I think we can evaluate the efforts to support that if we want to port them into the new API, into the component config. I think that's a direction, right? We want to port every legacy API into the component config if it's related with the policy or plugin configs, right?
Right. So the way that I see an easy path to support those in the new world is we create plugins that implements, for example, service affinity. But it would be a plugin that we implement, and they can configure it using the plugin config. So they don't really create something. They don't create a plugin on the fly, sort of. The plugin exists. They just have the ability to configure it. In the current world, they actually create a predicate on the fly, and they give it a name, and it gets registered. etc., etc. So that's way more flexible than what I would like it to be.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So yeah, if we need to check out whether we can extract the logic entirely into a standalone plugin.
I think we
Yeah.
can. It's just
Mhm.
that I want it to be registered under a constant specific name, and that's it.
Yes. So that if it's possible, we can create the issue and see any volunteer wants to take over, and we can develop the plugins in parallel. Then can we get to the actual goal sooner? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we clarify the semantics, if we add this right now, for example, if you specify a policy where you are specifying multiple uh, multiple policies in the policy file that invokes duplicate, for example, service affinity policies, then we're going to reject the policy, and basically the scheduler won't start. So we could clarify that this is the new semantics, or this is the semantics that is intended, and from there we can support that easier in the plugin moving forward.
Yeah. Hi, this is Klaus. For this API, do we get any feedback from user group and the developer group?
Yeah,
so that's yeah.
So that's why I created the issue. I was wondering if how we can publicize it even more to get.
I think maybe we can forward this issue to the Google group, because some user maybe only care about this part. So
Okay.
There are lots of issues in the GitHub. I mean,
Yeah.
They missed this notification.
And what do we do? Like we mail it, and then how long do we wait, for example?
I think I would suggest we get feedback firstly. If, for example, if there, really there are no feedback on just a few people using that, so we can speed up, or maybe,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. And if there are lots of people, we need to get their case, and maybe we get more time to do the upgrade.
It sounds good. It's just my concern is that the mailing list might not be actually monitored as much as we would like to, but I'll do that. So the second item on the agenda, again, so I have the framework migration set up completely ready. I have the first predicate as a filter under review. I'm working on the first priority as a filter, as a score in progress right now. Once I merge those, I will create issues for folks to do the rest of predicates and priorities. I just want to set up the precedents and how we think we should be doing this, and then we create issues for the rest of the predicates and priorities. Any comments or concerns?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. I will take a look at your first PR.
Okay.
On the migration. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I would also like to take a look. I'll do that tomorrow morning.
Okay. Thanks, Aldo. That's great. Yeah, I don't know if you guys see that the next for the next action item, Chong created multiple issues related to improving observability in the scheduler. We thought that thing is a little bit lacking in terms of metrics and better logging, etc. So he, in the past couple of weeks, he was looking deeper into the schedule and see how we can improve that, and he came up with a list of possible metrics to add. Also in the context of the new framework, where we can add more metrics to track at different extension points, etc. So please take a look at the umbrella issue I posted in the agenda. Give feedback, any concerns or suggestions how to improve it as well. We want to be able to, us as cloud providers, be able to support the scheduler the best we can. And the only way we can do that is by having more insight and ability to debug running clusters, basically. Okay, so the last thing is Aldo.
Yeah, just wanna. So I'm working on a default event pod spreading constraints, and I run into an old cap for scheduling policy, which mostly concerns with basically it's an admission webhook for scheduling features. So I was wondering if anyone is still working on that, or anyone has any background on it.
So the background I know is that Yasin from VMware was working on that, but it hasn't been active for pretty long time. So yeah, you'd better check with Yasin and to check the latest status. If you want to take over, yeah, it's also good to talk to him. I think Brian Grant was also involved into some discussion with Bobby and Yasin in the last year's KubeCon in Seattle, but I don't know the latest status, so you better check with Yasin. And
Okay, I'll try to reach to him. Otherwise, I'll
So it's good. We can talk to Brian Grant as well. Like you can ping Brian.
Yeah, I think
okay.
Brian Grant also was aware of this.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so that's the last item in the agenda. Wei or Klaus, do you guys have any final thoughts, comments?
Yeah, I just will finish the API cleanups later. So basically, the first one is to move that all the extender related fields, which is not exact API, it's just the communication data structures using both client side and the scheduler side. So those parts has been moved to package APIs / extender we want, and the rest of the part is to move the policy stuff so that we can eliminate the entire packages / API folder. So because if you look at the naming convention and all the other components, package APIs is a good convention for naming, and packages / APIs for some historical reason that it's just have a plain API, but right now APIs is not good. Yeah, I think I will start with a new PR. I will discard the old one so that I don't need to rebase all this stuff. I will start with a new one.
Yeah, I think you can take it one step at a time. I don't think you need to do multiple PRs and bother yourself with all these rebasing. I think this thing can move.
Yeah, I will start with a new one. Rebasing will cost me maybe extra efforts. I think. Yeah.
Sounds good. I don't think you have anything in right now that requires a review, right?
You mean pending on my review?
Pending on our review.
Oh no, that's no.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
no.
that's good. Okay, sounds great. Okay, if there are no other issues, I guess we can finish early. All right. See you guys next week.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.